Hello again, everybody. The History Guy here. It's time for the Battle of Shiloh. I am not real excited about this one. As I mentioned in my previous video, I think I'm probably playing for a draw here, and I'm hoping I can pull that off. As you can see going in, I've got almost 43,000 soldiers, 107 guns. Historically, on the first day of the Battle of Shiloh, April 6th, that's about what the Confederates had. The Confederates actually had just over 40,000, but the Union only had about 44,000, so he's got about 20,000 men more than he historically had. Now, this number actually matches up pretty closely to what he had once the army of Don Carlos Buell came. The Army of the Ohio showed up for day 2, but I'm guessing this does not include that. I think that number is going to be even higher later on. So that's what makes me nervous about this, is I'm not just facing 64,000 soldiers. I'm actually going to have to face even more than that by the time we get to day 2, which means I'm going to have to be really cautious and just find a way to maximize the number of casualties that I can cause in the first part of this battle if I am to have any chance whatsoever of salvaging a draw here. I just don't have the numbers. First part of the battle here, this one's broken up into several parts. We have this phase, and then we will actually move over to the east over here, and then we move up to the north and eventually work our way up toward Pittsburgh Landing. I'm going to really take this cautiously, and I haven't really thought out my strategy just yet. I'm going to kind of make it up as I go along, and this is certainly going to be a multi-part battle, and I'm going to make heavy use of skirmishers, especially because of the woods and everything that's involved in this one. Alright, so we're going to break off these skirmishers. I'm going to move really cautiously. I'm going to get skirmishers from every single one of these 10 brigades. And like I said, I haven't really thought out a strategy yet for this. I'm going to kind of just react, I guess, to what I find in front of me. It's been a while since I fought this battle. The plan originally for the Confederates was to attack as early as April 4th, but there were some heavy rains that slowed that down. And so I wonder whether an earlier attack might have led to a victory at Shiloh for the Confederates, because I don't know if Buell's army would have made it sooner as well because of the rain. But one certainly does have to wonder if that would have affected the outcome if the Confederates had been able to attack sooner. The assumption has always been that it was largely a surprise, and it was. I mean, I don't think the Union Army was prepared for the Confederates to have a full-scale attack on them, but there was actually a Union officer who went against orders and sent out a group actually of about 250 men, some skirmishers, who discovered the Confederate Army and actually bought some time. The man was, his name was Colonel Everett Peabody. And about 3 a.m. on Sunday, April the 6th, he actually was a brigade commander under General Prentice, and he went against Prentice's orders and went out and scouted and actually discovered the main body of the Confederate Army was preparing for an attack, and that actually bought a little bit of time for that division and for the division of Sherman to at least know that an attack was coming. Of course, it didn't change things a whole lot. The Union Army was still routed that first day, but they held long enough to be able to turn the tide when they got reinforcements on day 2. It's going to take a while to get these guns through the woods here. Oh, jeez. So there's more skirmishers down here. Wasn't expecting that. I'm going to move Brown out here so I can cover these guys. I'm largely going to move up the left here. I think I'll kind of go in this way right here. I know he's kind of sitting right along in here, And he's going to get reinforcements from up there. Main thing here is I'm just trying to maximize the casualties inflicted. This is all with a thought toward day 2, where I know I'm going to be heavily outnumbered. So anything I can do to mitigate that by dropping down the number of available forces he has, I'm going to do. Because there's no way I'm going to overrun Pittsburgh Landing when I'm outnumbered by 20,000 men. It's just not going to happen. Second attack wave arrives. Alright, here comes some cavalry, which are largely going to be ineffective because of the trees. And there's his first full brigade right there. Not sure how effective I'm going to be with this cavalry, but we're going to give it a go here against these skirmishers. See if we can wipe them out. Alright, I'm going to bring Kemper's brigade up. Alright, those skirmishers are toast. Seems to be working out quite nicely with the cavalry. Alright, they've been dissolved. I only lost 5 men between the 2 brigades. Or 7 men between the 2 brigades of cavalry. Really, they're battalions. Okay. Now we're just going to kind of hang tight here. For now. I'll only move when I feel like I've maybe got an advantage to do so. Which right now I probably do on this side. Actually, you know what? I got an hour and a half left. Let's wait at least till we get the artillery up, which of course is taking forever because we're going through the woods. In fact, it may take most of the scenario's time that remains to get the artillery up. Hello, skirmishers. Let me introduce you to my cavalry. Although they may drag them back toward the main body, and I don't want that to happen. Gotta be careful. They're gonna drag me back. Oh, good. They surrendered. That makes it easier. Yeah, get out of here. Alright, we'll move the skirmishers up a little more. He's actually... looks like he's moving his main body down toward me, maybe. That would be stupid on his part, but... stranger things have happened. I'm actually going to turn off my supplies so they're not resupplying anybody right now. Alright, we're going to hang tight right here while the guns get up. And I'm slowly going to start moving this line forward a little bit. Okay, we're still got an hour left. So obviously they're moving a lot faster now that they're in the clearing. So I'm actually going to bring the guns up just ahead of the woods. See, Maher's got the 12-pound smoothbores, and then these must be the Napoleons. I'm going to go ahead and bring Kemper and Brown up right here. Like I said, I'm going to be extra cautious every step of the way in this one. And I'm guessing he's got some full brigades pretty close here. Oh, here it comes. Okay. That's because of my artillery. Ah, darn it. That was a mistake on my part. I moved the artillery out, and he immediately charged at him. So I'm taking major losses to my artillery right off the bat. But it did draw his forces in, but at what cost, I guess, is the thing. Wow, I lost a third of those batteries. He saw that and took advantage of it. I'm not used to that, to the Confederates or to the AI being that aggressive. At least it was the 12-pound smoothbores and not the Napoleons. Well, we made him pay for it. It was actually kind of stupid on his part, but it was also stupid of me to move my artillery up that much. See, the skirmishers allow me to extend my line, but still keep strength in one area. Still 48 minutes to go. I'm not entirely sure I want to push for taking Shiloh Church. So how many guns did I lose? Yeah, I lost, looks like 5 guns. I lost a third of the guns there. But I inflicted, what, 600 casualties? Okay. Did we move forward? I guess it's probably time to do that. Let's send my cavalry over, see if we can't nab these skirmishers. Yeah, he's going to drop them back, and then he's got his own cavalry here now. Alright, we're going to pause. Going to be doing a lot of pausing. He's got some more units coming down up there. So I got to be cautious. I want to try and get to these woods. I want to push him out of here as quick as I can. Wish I had some sense of the numbers. I need one more point into reconnaissance before I can see that information, because that really would affect my choices. Alright, there we go. Drove Buckland off. But he's going to probably bring that other brigade down in. Gotta watch here because he's got this battery. Definitely got the numbers in my favor. If we can get Peabody around, that'll help. Just got to be careful. He's got a lot of support right here. Here we go. He's got his 3 brigades here, which actually works out nicely because that's where I'm the strongest. We secured the church, so that's gonna tick down the mission timer here. We'll be cautious with these skirmishers now. They're all doing really well. I want to pause just for a second and evaluate where things are. First of all, victory. Holding Pittsburgh Landing, of course, is required for victory. But there's a couple other things we need to look at here, too. So in order to get a draw, then, need to hold at least one of these, Spainfield and Larkin Belfield, which we'll see in a little while, plus hold Shiloh Church. Actually, yeah, so one of those plus all of these. So that I don't think will be a problem. Just got to hold Shiloh Church and one of those two. So we'll see how that goes. Let's just take a look at things here. I got to be careful here. If they decide to come at me with all 3 of these brigades, I'm going to have a little trouble with just skirmishers and cavalry over here. But about 13 minutes, and this mission timer's up anyway. Going to hold tight, because I know he's going to be getting some reinforcements the next time we come to this part of the battle. And I'm going to keep this cavalry super close, because if he comes at my skirmishers with his cavalry... There you go. Alright, back up, back up. I don't want cavalry getting hit by his brigades. Just want to look at how everybody's doing here. 138, 0, 109. So, with the exception of Evans, almost all of my brigades are overwhelmingly inflicting more casualties than they're taking, which is exactly what I have to have in this battle in order to have any chance at all. But that's definitely the way it's gone so far. Yeah, Evans is the only one who's had it rough so far. These skirmishers are starting to take on some full brigades here now. But that should be it for the first phase. And we move on to phase 2, which is the attack on the right of the Union lines. It's actually my right. This is his left, but okay. Because now we're down over here by the river. That first phase of the battle was over here. So again, really going to play this as cautiously as I can. I'm going to get reinforcements in waves. These are also not my troops, so these are the ones that are a little more expendable, and they're also a little larger. Once again, we'll break off skirmishers from everybody. So a little more about the Battle of Shiloh. This was one of those battles that was commanded by General Grant, the Army of Tennessee, because the Union armies were named after bodies of water. And even though it ended up a victory, Grant was heavily criticized in the northern press for how poorly the first day had gone with the surprise attack. There were rumors about him having been drunk, and he actually kind of fell out of grace with General Halleck, who was his commanding officer, to the point where for a while he wasn't really given much of an opportunity in the field. But Lincoln never lost faith in Grant, as was seen by the fact that Grant eventually was given command of the full overall command of the Union forces. So we're going to let everybody get into position here. I think I'm going to largely stay close and tight-knit. We'll send some skirmishers out. But I'm actually going to keep all these brigades pretty close together here. I've got some mounted infantry here. Get these other skirmishers out. One of the divisions in the Union Army was commanded by a man named Lew Wallace. There were two Wallaces. There was W.H.L. Wallace. There was Lew Wallace. Lew Wallace actually fared pretty poorly in this battle. Kind of his reputation was sullied a little bit after this battle, but he went on to fame later on as the governor of New Mexico, the one who kind of dealt with Billy the Kid. You see him portrayed in the movie Young Guns. But also he is more famously known as the author of the book Ben-Hur, which of course was made into a movie in the 20th century. A couple of movies. I haven't seen the second one yet, but it looked interesting. I might have to check it out at some point. First one, of course, had Charlton Heston in it. So we'll just kind of go with skirmishers here for a little while. I'm going to wait it out a bit until I can get some more reinforcements on the field. So there's a brigade over there. I'll keep these guys just to kind of keep them in check. Again, I'm going to turn off my supplies. And we're going to inch forward a little bit, but for the most part, I'm waiting. In fact, I'll go ahead and speed things along here a little bit. Alright, here comes the reinforcements. Again, I'm going to break off skirmishers on all these guys. Not too worried about the artillery, just because I'm in the trees. Oh, we got more coming. Alright, Stewart sees me coming, so now it looks like he's going to move. And he's shifting up here, too. He's shifting everybody over this way. Good. Because then what we'll do is we'll move up and just kind of put the battle line right here. Sure why the artillery's going that way, but we'll fix that. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Alright, I'm going to move my skirmishers up. And I'm going to go ahead and move the battle line up ever so slightly here. Again, I want to keep an eye on how my divisions or how my brigades are faring as far as casualties go. And again, I'm doing really well. That's the plan. Keep my casualties low, inflict as many as possible, make him so crippled that he can't overrun me in the counterattack on April 7th. Casualties, historically, in the Battle of Shiloh, overall, it was, up until that point, the bloodiest battle in American history. Of course, a lot of battles in the Civil War took that title successively. until Gettysburg. But 13,000 casualties on the Union side, almost 11,000 on the Confederate side. And I had an alarm that was supposed to tell me when I had to pick up my rental car for my trip to Pittsburgh this weekend. And so you might have heard that going off just now. Let's see. Yeah, so 13,000 casualties on the Union side, almost 11,000 on the Confederate side. Between the two sides, almost 4,000 killed. Nice, we routed Miller, so really going well here. Here comes another division coming down this way, and that's fine. Let him throw everything he can at me. Rather than pushing to try and take the objective and advance this to the next phase, I really just want to draw him into me and just keep inflicting those casualties as much as I can. Go ahead and wait and see what he does here. He's moving back over to cover this side. So this is Spain Field and Larkenbell Field. I actually have to hold one of these two throughout the entire battle if I want to win, which is going to be easier said than done. General Breckinridge, you want to come on over here? John C. Breckinridge, a Confederate general, former Vice President of the United States. One of those interesting things not a lot of people know, he was the vice president right up until the start of the Civil War. In fact, I believe he was the vice president under James Buchanan. So he's getting more reinforcements. I have no idea how many men are on the field for either side. I want to get these guns a little closer to the front. Alright, things are quieting down a little bit here, but I am not going to advance. It looks like he's backing up, though, which is a wise move on his part, but doesn't really do what I want it to. I really want him to advance, but I guess I'm going to have to push this a little bit. I'm going to cautiously move forward. Starting with skirmishers, who are doing really, really well for me. Who's charging? Look at that. Bad move, dude. You're going to send your cavalry charging, and I've got a infantry brigade right behind those skirmishers. So he's got a strong battle line right here. Oh man, I left these guys back a little further than I should have. I'm actually gonna pull back until they get closer. Because he's strong there, and I need the full strength of my line. I didn't realize I was still that far back. Again, he's coming at me with his cavalry. Interesting. Now my skirmishers are starting to have some trouble because they're hitting a pretty solid line here. But the good news is this is only going to last about 20 minutes. This is not going nearly as well as the first phase of the battle did. I'm going to pause these guys right here. Actually shift them. I want to rush some guys up here to the front to hit these guys as they come in. Oh, yeah, see, Gladden lost his brigade commander, and they're not going to do real well the rest of the battle for me. This is I'm not happy about this at all over here. I don't like how this is going. I probably should have waited, held them back, and then waited till the battlefield opened up and I could have hit these guys from this side. This is not ideal. I'm going to need to bring supplies up for them too. Alright, so this is going to be the end of phase 1, or I guess phase 2 of the battle, because we're actually going to shift back now over here to Shiloh Church. But I'm going to actually wrap up right there for this first episode. I'm going to try to break this off into some bite-sized pieces for you, rather than doing a couple of really long videos. So, probably upload one of these every few hours over the next couple of days. But I welcome your input, your observations, your comments, your questions. What do you think I should do differently? What do you like? What don't you like? I feel kind of stuck. I'm just not sure what I can do in this battle that I'm not already doing, because I'm just outnumbered by too many to try and push through and take Pittsburgh Landing on day 1 and win the battle. So I'm trying to be as cautious and keep my army intact as best I can, but maybe you see some things I don't see, so I welcome that. If you want to hit that thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be back again later on with part 2. Thanks for watching.